All right, what's up, everybody? Back here at the studio. We've had a little hiatus. I know it's been a few months since we've really put out anything, and it's one of those deals where we have been extremely busy and keeping the store going, the online stuff, uh, trying to film hunts, trying to just hunt, also working two other jobs pretty much full time, trying to keep up with the demand for the dog food. We're putting in a lot of time and a lot of hours every week. Some people can't really even they don't really get what a 100+ hours is. And I know a lot of people they're thinking, well, that might be a little far fetched, but uh, it's pretty tough. 16 hours, 4 or 5 days a week. And then there's some days where, like, gets to the weekends, there's no sleep, and it just continues on. And we're finally getting to a point now where we're going to try to catch back up on this stuff. We got things situated a little more. It's, I guess you say we got us a little better format and a little better organization. There's going to be some changes this coming up year with what we're doing as far as the business and the store and all that. We're still going to have it. It'll be available, but there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to change. And that'll come into effect pretty soon, and we'll let all of y'all know in plenty of time. But we've got a format this year on the podcast. That way we can put them out on a schedule. We started out pretty good back into summer and into fall, and like I said, it's just getting so busy. There's no time. It's very hard. Well, so now we've got it laid out, and like there's a lot of guests that we've already contacted, and they're lined up for months in advance now. So that's going to help a lot, and that helps us get it back out there to you guys. And so, with that right there, we're going to have basically an informative podcast episode with like Nate and myself, or Nate and a guest, or me and a guest, on things that they do, their breeds and stuff like that. Then we'll have one that's just going to be us, like it is on this one. We recorded one the other day with a guy in Louisiana, and
it's already up.
It's already out. Okay, that's the one with TK Hog Dogs. I haven't had any game dogs in a long time, and so he talks highly of his dogs. I went down there to see for myself, and I liked everything that I seen for the most part. I ain't gonna say for the most part, for all of it. All the dogs look great, and so we went to get my youngest son a puppy, actually, and wound up everybody got a pup. So
yeah,
we're gonna see what it's about. And but anyway, so we appreciate the support with you guys. Make sure y'all, when you listen to these, make sure you download them, because we're not going to have all of them on video this time, because that leads into that time. It takes so much time to edit a bunch of this stuff. I know it don't seem like a whole bunch is in it, but it is. And Nate's stretched thin already, so and I've got 14,000 other things to do besides edit. So it's one of those deals. If you guys want me to edit it, then it's probably ain't never going to get put on there. I'll erase it or some dumb shit, I'm sure. Or we can let Rodney do it. And we already know where that's going to go. So, but all right. Anyway, on this one, this will be just me and Nate talking. Probably mostly me, because you know how shy I am.
Oh yeah.
And then, but this is going to be, we got this one coined as wintertime
hog tactics and feeding unconventionally.
Wintertime hog tactics and feeding unconventionally.
Yes.
when we talk about the hog tactics, I mean, we all know, pretty much everybody will know what that is, like how do you hunt in the wintertime versus hunting during the summer. And then when we talk about feeding unconventionally, that's the one that I want to talk about first, really, is because
that's probably the one we get the most questions about.
Yes.
I've gotten a lot of in-person questions about it.
Oh, yeah. Because most people
are very intrigued by
it. But you'd be surprised at the people who do it.
Oh, yeah. They just don't ever say anything about it.
Yeah. And so, yes, we feed Showtime dog food. It's a great feed, there without a doubt. But at the same time, we do incorporate raw into their diet as well. I don't know that we've ever just fed one thing continuously straight all the time. Ever. I mean, maybe for a few weeks, but then it gets to change. And during the summer, more so than any.
If we did, it was probably when I was in 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When we would feed just 4
or 5 dogs. Yeah. We didn't have
10 dogs or something like that.
That many.
Other than that, I couldn't think of the last time where it was we fed just one thing. We're always supplementing and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I've noticed it definitely helps just keep I don't know, the dogs seem to do better, even though they do good on the Showtime.
Well, we did the ground. Was it last year before last, where we added all our own glucosamine, chondroitin,
I put
red cell, I don't know, Dine, all kinds of shit.
Cocoa Med. I put the Dine to it. I put the B12, the Rooster Booster, and then I put some creatine in there for water retention.
Don't say Rooster Booster because people are going to, you can't give it to a dog.
That's what I give my dog.
Yeah. You don't give don't give it to your dog. We give it to our dogs.
Yeah. You can give my dog about whatever.
You can give your dog whatever you want to do. So, but don't feed your dog anything that we feed our dogs. Because that's our dogs, and we can feed them what we want to. But if you want to feed them something, then
this is what we do.
This is some of the shit that we do to save a little bit of money, to also keep that dog's digestive tract moving. People don't understand that part. It's a stalemate. I mean, that's like when you get
the same thing every day.
Yeah, you get when you get older, you got to take all these medicines and you got to take fiber and all that so you can shit. I mean, your dog's the same thing.
Oh yeah. Pat Lewin, one time, it was one of the first Downsville Bay pens we went to. He was talking about, I can't remember if it was him personally or maybe his father, and he was talking about the good Lord made a chicken just for a dog. He needs everything. He can eat it from the feet to the feathers to the ass, basically. Yeah. And he's talking about just feeding them whole chickens from old chicken
There's
houses.
a lot of people that do.
And I have noticed that. Now, like I said, this is what we do to our hog dogs. Like if I got a deer and I got a dog that just loves barking, I might give him a 2-foot strip of deer hide and just let him eat on it.
Let him chew it.
He's going to shit out some hair, a little bit like that, but no complications on my end.
No, you look at dogs in the wild, the evolution of the canine. I mean, coyotes don't get Showtime.
No.
A wolf doesn't get Showtime. Jackals.
And I'd say a coyote would probably be the closest to a domestic dog.
Well,
as far as
I've seen some dogs, it's probably more coyote than dog for sure.
I've definitely met nicer coyotes at certain points.
Yeah. Some of them mind better anyway.
Yeah. And they're very omnivorous. They eat all sorts of things. They'll eat mushrooms and all kinds of vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Now, they might not always eat it, but they'll eat it when they need something. But the thing about a dog is he can't just go and scavenge. Like you was talking about getting older and having to have all these supplements.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Dogs have to have it. They can't go get it. Mm-mm. Everything that they got to do, we have to do it. Yep. They count on us for that.
And a lot of vitamin minerals can also come from organ meats, your kidneys, your lungs, liver, stuff like that.
People who have these triple XL bully dogs, Corsos, Mastiffs, band dogs, different things, a lot of them feed raw. And most of those folks only have 1 or 2 dogs, and they'll go buy all the organs. And we trap.
Yeah.
And so when trapping season rolls around, not just for hogs, but for whatever. We try to utilize that. There's some stuff I would say that, that we choose not to feed, but there's other stuff that we do, and we've had people like, oh, you can't do that. You can't feed that. Like beaver. Beaver's one of the best. I mean, hands down, that's probably the best that you can get to feed your dog. It's like feeding them steak every day, Then, of course, you got deer, but a lot of people aren't going to put any deer meat out for their dogs.
Yeah,
we do. We tend to. I'm not going to say myself, but my kids and acquaintances, they kill a lot of deer.
Yeah,
a lot, and nothing goes to waste.
No.
And then once we start trapping hard, coons. That's one of the most overlooked resources, I think, is raccoons.
Yeah. Now, raccoon's one of those things.
But you don't feed it raw.
You can't feed it raw. I wouldn't even really feed like regular beaver meat. I would feed the tail raw, but I wouldn't feed the meat. Now, typically, the beaver's not going to have worms, but sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Just because they could have.
We really don't feed nothing raw.
No, typically not.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm going to feed raw is venison.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I say that because, I probably spoke that out wrong, is because I was like, feeding raw, it's feeding meat.
Yeah.
Okay, we feed meat. And like I said, the only thing that we really feed actual raw would be probably deer. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we don't even feed that raw. We got a dog food cooker, and we cook. Basically, instead of spending that $100 a week or whatever you spend it on feed, you put your time into it.
Yeah. And it's like, like here in Alabama, like, well, you can kill a lot of unantlered deer. It's like you could take and go knock a nanny and just skin it, and you could take the whole deer and process it for deer food and make it into
for dog food.
Yeah. Or dog food. Yeah. And make it into soup. I'm a big dog soup guy. But a lot of times I also like feeding the trimmings. I'll feed the trimmings typically raw by themselves. It's because it's got a lot of the silver skin and it's got all that sinew in there. And so that's a good source of collagen. And I know I have noticed the difference in our dog's coats in the wintertime by supplementing with that. It definitely keeps them slick.
Go look at them right now.
Their hair and their nails.
See old dude standing out there look like he's been lifting weights all day. We're running around looking like little Carter Schultz and Dave Williams, somebody look like they've been pumped up.
Oh yeah,
ain't none of them big as Ryan, but
when they grow up,
they'll be like that. Then when they get to be full grown, they'll be like me and Rodney. You're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly.
That's right.
Or it could be Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, you could be Winnie the Pooh.
You could be Winnie the Pooh or a grizzly bear. Either one you want to do. It doesn't matter. It could be an Eeyore. I mean, fuck, you could be whatever you want to be.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody likes me.
But I've had a lot of people, or we've had a lot of people argue about feeding the coon to the dogs.
It's all had to kill your dogs.
And I'm like, no, we're not feeding it raw.
Yeah.
It's like after I skin the coon, I quarter it up, knock the feet off, just save all the legs until I got enough.
All the glands.
I mean, I don't even take the glands.
I'm just saying, but
if
typically,
if I was saving the glands for lure, if I was eating the coon, I'm gonna take the glands out. But the dogs, they don't care. Once it gets all boiled down, you just
that's the thing. It's because you're cooking it down.
Yeah, just take a scoop and it'll fall off the bone, and it's. I promise, guys, if once you cook it, you'll be like, I'm gonna have to eat some raccoon.
Yeah,
because
it's good.
It'll be so greasy. Like down here in the South, our coons aren't near as fat as up north. So up north, I couldn't even imagine like how much.
They probably couldn't feed them. I watched the fur buyer yesterday. Let's tell you about that.
Yeah,
this dude, coons go by size. They got small, medium, large, XL, XX. 3X, 4. When you get to 4X, it's like, holy shit.
I mean, that's a whole jacket.
Then, that's what he was like. He said, then he said, these are 4 and 5X. He was like, this is crazy. And then he pulled one out. He said, I don't know what this one is, but it's just jumbo, super jumbo. The man held the sumbitch up, and the nose was at his chin, and it was on the ground.
That's ridiculous.
He's 6 foot tall. That's what he said. This coon is as big as me. Now, I don't know how much it would have weighed. I'm saying that's going to be a 35-plus pound coon. And those are, I ain't going to say super common, but we know.
We see somebody do it.
Shit, I know some guys that are bumping 30 to 35 pound coons a few times a year. Now, it's not all their coons are like that, but and I don't mean guys that are in Kentucky. I mean guys that are in South Dakota, Iowa, North Dakota. I'd say Michigan has some big coons too. We went up there and trapped, but
the first coon I caught was the biggest one I ever caught in my life. Just about.
And it was what 25, 26 pounds.
Yeah,
right?
And old Mike Sapp, he was like, "Yeah, it's pretty nice.
That's average."
And I was like,
"That's a decent coon." You know,
my
like,
head was so big I was wobbling, and Mike popped it real quick. I was like, "Oh yeah, we are in Michigan.
Yeah.
It don't count."
But there's so many people that they get to, I don't know. I guess they get to listen to everybody else and don't ever do anything for themselves.
Yeah.
Or they don't pay attention. Like some of the old timers, they had to do whatever.
Yeah.
Their dogs just had to survive. That's like this bullshit about corn and dog food. Oh my God, I'm so sick of hearing that.
It only matters if
How many of your dogs are going, when you drop them at the hunting club, go straight over on the corn pile, start eating your damn corn? Every one of y'all's dogs. Everybody's dog at some point is going to go over and start eating damn corn.
The only time I've known corn to matter is I was reading a book about mushing dogs.
That's sled dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's
we ain't sledding shit down here.
I mean, and this is during the Iditarod.
The Iditarod.
Yeah, I was like, hell, my hillbilly ass, I could be saying that wrong. But he was talking about because those dogs running so hard, so long, if there's corn fragments from their abdomen squeezing on their guts, it can create so many micro fractures.
Mm-hmm.
It could have a very small scale internal bleeding, and they could see like a little blood leaking from their butt.
The kibble that a lot of those guys are getting, or back then, was stuff like we used to go up here and get at a plant. It was pet food.
Yeah.
Cat food, fish food, dog food. It was just in a 55-gallon drum. It was $25.
That's why most of them just fed raw.
And exactly. And so you had whole chunks of corn in there. You had whole kernels. Yeah, that could be a problem. But I'm saying people talking about these allergies and it's bad for your dog and all that. I don't know. I don't
think your dog's tough enough.
No, I think you need to do something with your dog.
Let him outside. Well, some dogs do have genuine allergies, but even then, just I don't know.
I don't do it. If I got dogs that's got allergies, I'm not gonna keep that dog alone.
I don't know if we ever had a dog that had they might have had like a skin irritation, but
that's not. They didn't have allergies. None of our shit eaters had allergies. That's why I'm like, when I tell people and they're like, "Well, you didn't have this kind of dog." I've had 100 head on the yard, literally 100 head of dogs, puppies and adults. 72 grown dogs, and then rest puppies. That's the most that I had as far as grown dogs. And that's been going on for decades now. I've had a few dogs, is what I'm getting at. And I've had literally a dozen different breeds. Some designer breeds, some show dog shit, and crossed them into some of the roughest, rankest stuff you can find. And none of them had allergies. No. Not one fucking dog.
Only time I've ever seen anything close is just because their skin got dry and they wouldn't quit chewing it.
That's the dog.
Yeah.
And it's also one of those deals where the dog, like some of the dogs we had, were mentally challenged.
To say the least.
Rogan. He had a bad skin allergy on his face from his nose to the top of his head because he kept ramming his face into the kennel.
The top.
Trying to get out.
Wham.
So you see what I'm saying? I'm sure there's some, but I don't know. I don't think it's from corn. And it's not going to be from coons or from venison. So any of that stuff, like I said, it works for our dogs.
Yeah.
It can save you for like literally. And then when you get out here, this is the first winter we've had in a long time. Like, it's been cold every day, every night.
Yeah.
We'll get 4 nights a week that's going to be sub-freezing. And it's not even wintertime here yet. Yeah. We don't even get winter here in Alabama till late January, February into March. That's when our winter is, February. And like I said, it's sub-freezing. It's been in the 20s every single day. Some days it hadn't got out of the 30s and 40s. So wouldn't you I like a hot cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Work outside all day. Them old hounds, I'm sure they enjoy that warm soup.
And one thing that I've noticed is when you're doing the soup, whether you feed it by the soup by itself or whether
you pour it over kibble a lot.
Yeah, I've done 2 a days.
So you got both, yeah.
Yeah, I've done 2 a days feeding where I'd fed fed kibble in the morning and then soup at night. And then I've done it where if I just didn't have the time, I just did it all at one go.
Yeah.
And basically, I'll have like 3 or 4 different pots going because if it's this cold, it's going to keep. Mm-hmm. And so
we don't pick up roadkill. I don't know. Just never done that. Nate wants to, but I don't. I know somebody who does.
I have a saying that I heard one time. I've eaten more roadkill than you've drove past.
Yeah. Me, that's different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
they might have even died from
I'm talking about with the coons and stuff. I don't want people thinking because coons get run over. You'll see that shit all over the place.
Yeah.
Everything that we're talking about is stuff that we've
trapped
or taken care of. And like I said, it's just not going to waste. I'm not saying there would be nothing wrong with it.
A lot of
times, if you go through there that morning, wasn't nothing there, it's 25 degrees, you come back an hour later and something's laying there, hey, something's in your truck.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on the route that we've been going to work or something and we came home yesterday and there wasn't nothing there and we know it got hit overnight, we might throw her in the truck. But I've noticed a lot of times with roadkill coon, they're usually just mangled. Usually when
because they're smaller.
Usually when shit gets hit by a car, it's broke up. It's not fun to skin because you open it up and it's like this thing's blown up on the inside. Not that I've ever done that,
right?
Might be missed.
That fan problem.
I'm not sure.
I turned that fan on front.
But I know but we typically, if we know the deer's fresh, we'll pick it up. But typically we don't have to pick up roadkill. This year we haven't had to. We've
never had to.
No.
Ever. That's what I'm saying. That's something you can choose to do.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things, like I said, if some people, you can't even say that shit on here because there's some person listening that's going to I watched this on a thing the other night. It was a cult. Well, they said they weren't a cult. They were a group. They were a bunch of hippies and they lived in Tennessee and then they got ran out of Tennessee and they started another place in Missouri or somewhere. They were cool as shit. And that's all fine and dandy. They were going around picking up roadkill for themselves. This son of a bitch got out of the truck. There was a coyote there, and it was 2 bones left and dried up hair. And the other people had to stop him from getting it. That's why I said you can't even say shit like that. It's ridiculous.
I've never fed the dogs any kind of other canine. I feel immoral on that one. I don't feel like I should feed the dog. But
I like the way they do all the sled dogs.
Yeah.
Like the fish thing.
Yeah. I know we've fed like freezer burnt fish and stuff and had it worked really good on their stomach.
Yeah.
It seemed to sit well and it didn't, because that was my concern is like the few times that we fed it, I was like, well, I wonder if making this fish soup, basically, like if it's going to upset them because they've never had fish.
It was easy. It was good.
And they liked it.
Yeah.
I remember one time I made like a fish and rice soup. They liked it. And that was another thing.
Rice.
Is you can buy bulk bags of rice from Sam's Club.
Oatmeal.
Or like Winn-Dixie. Yeah. I don't like the oatmeal because it's so sticky and it just kind of makes a mess. The rice is usually cleaner. But it's also another good supplement. And that rice, I mean, because you're going to have that. That's a typical grain in a lot of feeds. I think it's one of the main ones, value pack, because it's like they only have like 4 grains or something like that.
I don't know. I've never checked into it, so
don't quote me on that. But the rice, I know the rice alone they seem to eat it. Now, if it's not cooked all the way, you might see some white specks in their poop or something like that. But if your rice was cooked all the way through,
no reason, yeah.
I've seen nothing. It might constipate them a little bit, so you got to make sure you have some fat, some grease, or something like that. Like I said, that's where some coon meat in there boiled on top and get some fat going, and it'll slick them up and make them look good.
Yeah.
Now, it takes a little time.
Same thing like with wild hog.
Yeah.
We kill a lot of hogs, and those big boars, we don't let them go to waste.
No.
Like, that's what we'll do. And like I said, we generally cook all of it, you know.
Yeah.
So that, and like I said, it's one of those, that's something that we do. I'm not telling you to do this.
Yeah.
So don't do it and then do something crazy or whatever and then say that I told you to do it, because that's not happening. But it does work.
Yeah.
Like I said, and during the wintertime, it just seems to, I don't know, it seems just so much better.
Yeah.
It's work.
Oh, yeah.
It's more work. I know so. But anyway, and then also to keep that dog healthy, you got the water.
Yes.
Dogs don't want to drink water.
No.
So
only when they're dying of thirst when it's cold.
Yes.
So they're either going to chug it or not drink it at all, in my experience.
I agree.
And I've noticed with the soup, they drink up to like half as much water.
Yep.
Because I know that one blue tick we got, she's probably pushing 100 pounds. And she's got a full 5
That's
gallon
a big
bucket.
old bitch.
Oh, that dog is huge. And I filled up her water bucket Tuesday. It was almost empty today. And I've only been feeding kibble. I haven't fed any soup past couple, at least 2 weeks.
2 weeks
all the
or so,
holidays and stuff.
But like I said, that goes back to making sure that they have the water they need, supplements, a good dog house, bedding. You got to keep your dog warm.
Just because it's dry on top don't mean it is on the bottom.
Yes.
Get in there, stick your hand up under it. Because if it's wet on the bottom, if the first 4 inches are dry and the last one is wet, that's going to freeze.
I don't like plastic barrels for the wintertime.
They're good for a dog that just chews up a dog house.
Yeah, I mean they're not bad for dog, but to me you could get better stuff. Like we got a lot of above ground kennels, and then we have some chain spots, but we got we're trying to get as many in kennels as possible, and we put you got your kennel, we got a dog house in it, got plenty of bedding in it, water bucket, feed bucket. That's pretty much all it takes. Make sure your dog is worm regular, and is got his shots. Other than that, I mean, it ain't that damn hard. And if you got a dog that's been healthy, he starts dropping weight. That doesn't necessarily mean you got to food bowl condition his ass. You ain't got to pump him up. But there are some times where that dog will start dropping weight, and all it is he's not getting quite enough over a period of time. Yeah. And it's just now starting to show up.
Yeah.
So that's when sometimes that's dogs that need to be put on a feeder.
Yeah.
Automatic feeder, that's worked pretty good.
I've noticed with a lot of the young males at that 6 month to year old, when they start going through that big hormone swing, some of them they won't put on weight. Yeah. And then they get 14 months old and then they're fat. And it makes no sense. And it was that's
just that high metabolism.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it just running them. Yeah. Even if they're not running in place, their body is.
Oh yeah.
And so that's, that was one of the things that's why I was wanting to talk about the alternative feeding stuff. It's unconventional to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's a little more common than what people think as well, because there's other guys out there that I know personally that are feeding all kinds of stuff. I know people that go to supermarkets and get truckloads of scrap, meat scraps and bones and all that, and that's what they feed their dogs with some kibble or whatever. I know people who own processing plants, they'll set stuff to the side, and if their buddy comes by and picks it up, use it to feed their dogs. They don't promote that, but it happens.
Yeah.
And
I'd say with feeding raw, if you're not going to feed a fatty meat, like if you're not going to feed like beef or coon or something like that, you have to feed some kibble with it because
your fat content's too dry.
Yeah, it's just too dry. They're not like they're gonna be bowled up.
It's gonna be warm.
Shit.
It's gonna be I can't poop,
and it's gonna be warm.
They're gonna need
solid.
some Metamucil.
It's gonna look like a piece of coal coming out of their ass
Yep.
if you only feed them venison.
Looks just like Rodney out there in the field when he's trying to shit on the tailgate.
I seen Rodney when he shit himself one time.
And, my man pooped.
It wasn't black. It was light brownish greenish.
Oh, he's eating pretty good then. He's healthy. Rodney's gonna fucking kill us.
He had a metformin moment. I missed that motherfucker.
Yeah, he's been tied up by this woman, and I think she let him go the other day, or he escaped. But I think he went right back. I think he's enjoying it. He ran into a deer, tore his truck up. You know what he said?
What?
Oh dear. That's okay. That's he's that Pooh Bear. Oh dear. All right, so the next thing we wanted to talk about was this wintertime hog hunting. How do we change it up from what you do spring or summertime? So I guess that all just depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like if I think we have more daytime movement right now.
Yeah. The study that I got shown when I was in the last semester I was in college, my good buddy Oliver Fleming was actually one of the field hands on the study under this PhD student, and he was doing a study on movement of feral hogs on the Noxubee Wildlife Refuge. And they showed because they started monitoring during the summer through deer season, they showed at deer season, they started moving like an hour earlier and then about an hour later during midday. So it kind of just shifted it up. Whereas like most hunters, when they go afternoon hunt, they're probably, depending what time of fall and winter, they're probably getting to the stand at like 2 or 3, and it showed like some midday movement, and then it showed like that 2 to 4 a.m. range, and then it showed like that 9 to 10, and it was like those 3 times. Now, that's only at that one place in Mississippi. That's not the gold rule.
Oh, I get it. Like I said, because from 10 to 2, I get hogs on camera.
Yeah,
and then about 8 between it depends. There's no pattern, of course.
No.
But usually between 6:30 and 8 o'clock in the evening, I'll start getting a few pictures. And then, of course, it's all different. It's sporadic through the night.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that I know I have more daytime movement is because I have more daytime pictures. I mean, smart ass. But it's simple. Like at every location that I've done this over the course of however many years now, and I've been doing this a long time with cameras, trying to pattern hogs.
Yeah.
A long, long time. Decades. And I still can't get them patterned.
No.
Bastards. I can get them pretty close. I can say, okay, look, they're going to be here in a couple days.
They're just so opportunistic. If something better comes across their path, they're going to take it. They're not creatures of habit. They are until there's something better. They'll be like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to go check this out.
But like I said, that with the wintertime, it's I feel like, we don't, deer season just screws it all up. We don't hunt near as much. But if I was going to be hunting more, I'd probably just be hunting in, midday, because if I could find, the places that I have, that don't mean wherever everybody else is living, because I don't know what they're doing. But most people are hunting at night.
Yeah.
Because it is deer season. So, yeah. I don't know how that's working out for some hunters. I mean, like we've got some properties that you can go about any time and you're gonna get on something.
Yeah.
So it ain't too bad, but it also has a lot to do with like where we're gonna drop at. Right now, I'm gonna drop in thick cutovers or pines.
Yeah, I think we bay a lot more in their beds this
Yeah.
time of the year than we do during the summer.
I do too. Like I said, most of the ones that we're in younger pines, 10 years old pines or younger is where we're gonna get on a lot of them. And one thing is you got all the pine straw, grubs, worms, and all that's in there. It's constantly got food, and then the heat that it puts off. The pine trees, they're gonna put off more heat. Well, we passed the baiting bill a couple years ago, and used to if you had a corn pile, hogs was gonna come hit it. They hit it and just move on. Like they don't stay there and just shit wreck it or just hang around or none of that. They'll come in there and hit it today. I don't care if there's 500 pounds there. They'll eat what they want and move on to the next one. Everybody's feeding it. So you gotta, if you're gonna hunt like over bait, you gotta have something different. You gotta change it up.
Yeah.
And so, not everybody's gonna do that, but we do.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I mean, we ain't got to hunt over bait. I'll kick that dog in the ass. He's got to get out there and find him.
Yeah.
Or something.
Something.
Got to do something.
So do you think during the wintertime it's better to hunt bait piles or free cast or walk hunt?
However you want to hunt it. Just depends on the kind of dogs you got, what makes you feel like you want to hunt.
I feel like it also depends how much property you have. Because, like if you have permission to hunt this one place, the next door neighbor could be a real pain in the ass about deer hunting.
Yeah.
And which, I mean, he has the right. It's his land, his permission. But it's like, in my mind, want to get on a pig quick and try and hurry up and wrap things up so you don't.
Yeah, this time of year, I'm going to try to
little conflict as possible.
I ain't worried about baying one. I want to stretch him out and get it done.
Yeah.
But that's just me. That don't mean that that's the way it has to go. Yeah. Depends on where you live at.
I definitely like the rougher dogs during the wintertime because if you get in a thicket and you got shoats or if you get a sounder, you're not going to run them around. They're going to kill those little pigs. They're going to move on.
Crunch them and move, yeah.
And then hopefully get on a bigger one. And then if they relay, you're not out here. Like, you're going to do some sweating, of course, because it's a lot of work. But I'd much rather relay and catch 10 hogs in an hour in December or January than in June or July.
Yeah.
Because June, July, it's rough. It's rough. Everybody's whooped after that. Whereas it's like during the wintertime, you go get lunch and recuperate. Or during the summer, it's like I might need an IV myself.
Yeah.
You're just sweating so much.
Well, it's like I said, it all depends on
where you're at,
where you're at, and how you hunt, really. Because the properties I used to have that I hunted all the time were big properties, and there was no baiting bill had been passed, none of that junk. So we had some bait spots, and I knew we would hit something close. And so if I had a bait pile down at the end of this little turn road or whatever, I'd stop a half mile before I got there, and I'd have one on the box or on the riding top. And then when I got a little closer or whatever, I'd holler, get them down and let them road hunt. And usually we'd have something before we ever got there, or by the time we got there, they're gone. And so, and it didn't matter if they was rough, but all of them were rough anyway. But if it was a real big hog, sometimes they would bay. If they got to where they couldn't hardly physically move and they were just beat down, they'd bark at him some. But during those days, like I said, it was just totally different. Yeah. And now it's like, I don't know. It's like when you get in there, you got to get them, get it done and go.
Yeah.
I'm not trespassing. I'm not outlawing. I ain't slipping or nothing. Hell, I own all this stuff. It's all ours. I don't own it, but I mean, at least it's our personal stuff. Yeah. It's like, if they get off this property and get on somebody else's, I got to listen to all this whining and crying.
Yeah, and I just don't even want to deal with a conflict. Yeah. Or worse come to worse, somebody shoot a dog.
Oh, that's going to be a bad day.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna go there.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
a
gonna
bad
go there
day.
for us. That's how much it means to us. And it's like I don't even want to put
It
ourselves.
ain't even that. I'm just an asshole. I don't care. It ain't even got to be my damn dog. It could be somebody's dog in Florida. All they have to do is say somebody done that, and I'll be like, yeah, that gives me a reason. Because I'm getting old and crabby. That's even worse now. So if somebody does this to you, and you need somebody to come down there and talk to them and figure it out, give me a call. I don't charge much. Waffle House, cold beer, something like that. I'll go visit with them, and we'll figure it out.
I understand.
But even then, though, 15 years ago, even during deer season, like we didn't listen to the crying that we got now.
No.
And we hunted all the time. Like we hunted all day, night, didn't make a shit.
But I also feel like there's more people to ruin it for everybody else now than there was back then. I mean,
yeah, there's definitely more. There's more people hunting now.
Yeah.
Because like I said, and I'm sure there was a lot more hunters, I just didn't know them. And so, which we didn't have any hogs here or anywhere close. We had to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours. And generally from there, further south, there was a good deal of hunters, but we didn't go down there because people were already hunting. We didn't try to go where there was anybody that hunted at all. You didn't want to step on nobody's toes.
No.
At all. Because it's just, things have changed a whole lot, and a lot of it's for the better. I like because we got more people that hunt. See a lot of young people coming up hunting. I like that.
Yeah, it definitely keeps the sport going, and as long as they do the right things, it will get better for us. But if you keep doing dumb shit, it's not going to get better.
Well, that's any of it. That's any of it.
The biggest thing is don't record yourself and then post you doing said dumb shit. That's the number one issue I've seen.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, it is cool. With you and your buddies there. It's not cool when you show everybody else.
But the thing about it is some places you can do that.
Yeah.
There's no repercussions, no big deal. But then places like where we live at, you can't do it.
Yeah.
But if it makes the rounds here,
then the people are going to assume
they're going to think I'm doing it. Yeah. And even though I'm not, which I don't care. I don't care. They can do whatever they want to do. Hey, if you want to look like an idiot, knock it out. That's up to you. I'll be here when you go.
Yeah.
I don't plan. I wasn't doing it this long. Ain't no sense of quitting now.
No.
But we do have, like I said, we've got a lot of new folks coming to it. This year we'll be in the woods a lot. We were in the woods a lot last year. We were at 300 hogs with dogs when I quit counting. And we picked off a few more, but it wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah, the last few hunts of the fall and early winter were like singles, maybe one or two.
Yeah.
Mainly just singles. But they were good quality hogs. So I know like the one that we caught for my wedding, that was a nice boar hog. He wasn't no giant trophy, but it was a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Very happy.
He was a big hog. He just had some little bitty ass teeth.
Oh, yeah. Which, I don't
There's a couple up there right now on camera that's big hogs.
Yeah, that one's got them curl backs.
Yeah, he's got them some bitches laid way on back. And I'm going to punch him right in the face. I'm going to get him in a headlock and twist him around. I don't know. I'm mad at him this year. I got a bunch of young dogs.
That should be mad as well.
They better hope they mad. I promise you that. Because here's the deal. Hey, if anybody out there needs a couple good dogs, I'm talking about like dogs that are 6, 8, 10 years old. You drop them, they go do it. I've got a couple I'm going to let go to people who will hunt them. And somebody just getting started, holler at me. Because like I said, I don't know. I'm at a crossroads to where I'm having to change a lot of things up, and I'm going to have nothing but young dogs I'm not using an old dog as a lead dog or nothing. These pups will do it or they're not going to do it.
Because those end up making better dogs.
They got to do it.
Every time they make a better dog.
Well, that's the only way I ever trained dogs. And then I got lazy. And for several years there, it was just, I didn't have time.
Yeah.
It was
pleasure hunting.
Yeah. I was just going.
And we go fucking mop them up.
I had 3 different sets of dogs that were finished, I guess what you call finished dogs. And it's like, okay, I just pick whatever dogs I want. It's what me and Rodney was talking about when he first really started hunting with us. He was like, how many dogs do you have? I was like, I don't know, a bunch.
Because we'd bring like the same 3, and then we'd bring a different 3 or 4 every time.
Yeah.
We'd bring them like 2 or 3
because it took him like 2 years to even remember the names. And by that time, he's like, I can't.
Because Grant was talking about it as well.
He came to the house and Grant was like, holy shit.
Yeah. And we had done thinned down some at that point.
We had about 60.
Yeah. I think we had like 60 at that point. And
I'm talking about some fucking dogs.
But these dogs are all different age ranges. I mean, from 6 weeks to 6+ years. And so a lot of the evaluations that Dad and I like doing is like 2 or 3 weekend hunts or like weeks of hunting.
Which one are you talking about? The old dogs that we had before or the ones now? The ones we had before. I was thinking because the ones we got now, we don't have any. They're all about a little over a year old.
Yeah. All the young dogs.
Yeah. I don't have any puppies. I got some bulldog puppies, but that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm doing.
No.
They'll have their part in there, but they ain't got nothing to do with it right now.
Yeah, we don't have any actual.
Nope. I had no puppies. And I don't have any other grown. The only grown dogs I have in between those would be Slim, I got from Nathan Brooks, or Matt that I got from Jonathan Thompson.
Yeah.
That's the only dogs that are older than a year old. I don't know how old Slim is, and Matt would be 3 years old, I believe. It's a 3-year-old dog now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've still got my older dogs. But I guess the oldest dogs that we're going to be pushing this year is probably going to be Eminem and Louie.
Yeah, and they're about 14 months.
Yeah.
15 months.
And I mean they're doing it all.
Yeah.
They better.
I hope so.
They won't be with us.
That'll be
I'll tell you. I'll give them a little bit longer. We'll let them run it, but like
so far
February is going to be a big month.
Yes. Be a good month, hopefully.
It will be. Like I said, I got, all them yellow dogs I got at the house. They got to roll.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be no issues.
No.
Them some bitches rank.
Well,
I got them from out there in Texas, from Russell.
Yeah. And then we got the mixed up one from Cody Jeff Coates, who was breed back to some of Pat Loonan's stuff.
That was from one of Cody's gyps to General Lee, I think, or one of them off General Lee. Hell, I don't even know. That little old Humpty, he stays out there.
Yeah.
He's crazy as hell.
Yeah. He went hunting for a couple days.
Yeah.
He didn't go super far, but he just wanted to
But
hunt.
he runs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I went up there, he pushed deer right on top of me.
Once he gets on a couple pigs, I'm going to see that gay tail.
Which he already bayed.
Yeah.
He already bayed one. And he was a little puppy.
Yeah.
So now it's just loading, unloading, learning how to act right around the other dogs, learning, hey, this is where we're going. This is what we're going to go do. And now every time we go, I got to put him on pigs. I got to put him in sign. I got to put him right where they're at for the first month. And then after that, I need to be able to just turn him loose and he needs to go find him.
Yeah, let him figure it out. He knows the end result. He knows the game. Let's see if he can figure out how to play.
Because they've got the drive. And then that other one we got, Pat went and got that litter when we were down there at Jake's. They're all scatterbred dogs, but I mean, that some gun is, when they were little, they would bay each other. They'd bay the water buckets and do whatever. Well, he wasn't baying 2 days ago. He was swinging.
Yeah, he's getting a little rough.
I like it. I wanted to go back to something a little looser bay. And I think we got a couple that, we'll have a pack that'll do that.
Yeah.
But I gotta have some hammers.
Yeah.
I gotta have when I go somewhere. I don't know. The last 2 or 3 years, I ain't got to show out.
Yeah.
We went 2 places and showed out with the overall dogs, but that's your dogs, Rodney's dog, Joe's dogs, whoever's dogs. I don't want it to be about y'all's dogs. I want it to be about my mutts.
Good.
That's how it's got to be. Well, that's the way it's got to be. That's the way it's got to be. That's the way it needs to be with you. That's the way every person needs to be.
Yeah.
Now,
we should all have really good dogs.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go out there and say, "Oh, my dog did that." You ain't going to hear me say that.
Yeah, because at the end of it, our dogs did it.
They're your dogs more than they are mine. Yeah. I'm just going to say that when they're really good dogs, that's my dog.
Yeah.
When they're shitty dogs, that's your dog.
Every time Eminem and Louie on point, oh yeah, Pop's grandkids.
Yeah. You notice when Hank does something extraordinary, I bred old Hank up 20 years ago, blah, blah, blah. But when he's over there dry humping everything, Joe, get your dog. Or when Midnight and Sally go do something, I say, listen, no, Sally, that's my girl down there. And then when she doing something stupid, I was like, that's Rodney's dog. I don't know. I don't even know that dog.
I'm excited to see about.
I'll see puppies.
Yeah. I got 4 in the shed. Well, I've been keeping Jade in there because I don't want to kill him.
I'm excited to see Rodney's puppy.
Yes. I haven't seen any updated photos or anything like that.
That's off of him.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be there. I
guarantee you they are.
We worked our ass off to get a breeding. We never breed young dogs. Never. We said, well, just in case something happens.
Because it's happened.
So
we're going to wait till next
we
time.
bred him to a couple dogs. Some bitches, neither one of them had a puppy. The one dog that we didn't intentionally breed him to, guess who had puppies? That's right.
Like that every time.
Sally, she's if she had puppies and they're anything like him, then that's that ought to be some bitches there. Either that or they're just gonna be waterheads.
Yeah.
But if they are, then I think he had 4 or 5, maybe something like that. Well, as far as I know, we're gonna keep all of them and just start running them, and they'll be ready to run summertime. Yeah. They're still a little young right now, but come summertime, 6 months old.
I'm excited to see Jade and Liz. Liz being that Mountain Kirk Catahoula.
Yeah.
She seemed like she wanted to go the other day when we were working her, but she's still a puppy. I mean, they're about 6 months old, so she's still playing. But I know she was watching.
That's what I figured. If we get the rest of this month, and then deer season goes out the 10th, but I'm wanting to try to work in a couple of hunts before then.
Yeah.
If
rotations going.
Well, I was thinking to say, might get with Carter and them and see, go out and hunt with them, Kevin or Nathan Brooks, somebody, make a couple of road trip hunts, get the young dogs a little riding time, a little box time. And then I also talked to Braxton Sultan in Arkansas about going out there and visiting with him and maybe hunting a weekend.
Yeah, I'd like that.
A few people down in Louisiana. We talked to Timothy Kling and them. We've got a few people we're trying to come up and hunt with us down there at our little honey hole that we had the past 2 years, I guess. Last year it was phenomenal. First 3 hunts we had 80-something hogs caught. So it was it wasn't too fucking bad at all. It was they weren't big hogs. There was a few. Now we caught a few big hogs, but most of them were, pigs, anywhere from 40 pounds to 140 pounds. But when I catch 20 of them a day, it's good for them dogs. You get some good dog work, especially when I didn't go 400 yards either way and caught 20. I was like, hey, now we're talking. I was looking for the gate to see what pen we was in. That's how damn good it was.
Yeah.
But at the same time, once you get the cream off the crop after about 3 or 4 hunts, them some bitches know when you're coming, time to run.
Yep.
And then once it warms up a little bit, everybody's slipping around down there, riding them roads, dumping out on top of my shit, which I ain't mad at them. Shit, it's a pig. Hey, okay, just don't tear my shit up. Don't make it to where I can't hunt.
Leave it better than you left it.
That's right. If you do something stupid and you get it where I can't hunt, we got an issue.
If you slip in and somebody can tell you slipped in, you didn't slip in.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we pulled up and talked to Justin them down there. Or I was like, was his name? Yeah. And I was like, you been hunting down here? He's like, yeah. I was like, doing pretty good then, because I didn't even know it. He was like, you hunting? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh. He's like, I didn't know nobody else was hunting it. That means we're doing good. But there was not a conflict at all.
No. He went to one side, we went to the other.
And like I said, it was one of those deals where I had permission for the main part of it. He had permission for another parcel of it, and it all goes to public land all around it. So it's like, dude, why are we going to argue over something that's just pointless when all we can do is just go hunt?
If we both wouldn't have had so many dogs, I mean,
well, he had a group.
rigs
Well, he was waiting on another guy with some dogs, and so it was just like it would have been a clusterfuck.
If it would have just been him and just us,
we'd have just hunted together.
I mean, we've hunted with 20 and 30 dogs on the ground, but that's a
clusterfuck. Crazy. We did that. We went out there with Carter and him. We just started. We was like, well, we ain't gonna turn, but like 3 loose here and 3 and that. Yeah,
and then,
right.
Like some 40-pound pigs ran across the field.
Turn them loose.
Drop the box.
Dump the box. That's Kevin Brooks and Rodney Bell. Turn every dog in the country loose. Kevin's talking about my dog's gonna go down there and bay him. His dogs won't bay an elephant.
No,
they'll eat the damn thing. Go over there and a 250-pound pig. Its whole skull plate's gone.
I think Drew's dog Buck is about the only one that bays sometimes.
Yeah. And I don't even think he's doing that too much anymore. He's done got that dog right there. He's done come along. He's on fire.
Oh yeah.
He's been doing damn good. But all of them's got really good dogs. I tell you, somebody I think's done got the bug. A partner old Scotlandier.
Yeah.
And we have a good relationship. Scott does. He's family.
Oh yeah.
I mean, ain't no doubt.
Scott.
And like he sent me some pictures and stuff. He's when we first started talking, he's like, I just ain't got room for the dogs. I ain't got time and blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, we'll see about that shit. It won't be too long now. And I was thinking about that too when I was talking about like my old dogs, like Susie and Tyson, some of those dogs that have literally have. I don't know how many hogs we've cut. Like I don't for years and years and years. That's the kind of people I want to send them to. And no, I'm not selling them. No. I mean, like here, take them and hunt them, let them live their life out, get you some pups and let them start the pup for you. Make it easy on yourself. Don't do dumb shit like I do. Make it hard.
The goal is to make hog hunting better. Make the dogs better.
Yes.
Keep the pigs at bay. Don't be doing dumb shit with them. If you can keep them and manage them in your state, do that. But in Alabama, we have a different objective.
Yeah. We're going to be working on it. We're still working. Oh, yeah. We got to get a few more things lined out. Like I said, we just had a lot on our plate the past few months. And I know y'all have heard us say that before, but it's like, it's a lot. It's like, damn, I don't know how we keep doing it. I don't even know how we stay up and do what we do, but it's the management is getting a lot better. The management skills on managing how to do all this and make it work and to put out quality stuff instead of quantity. That's the people that you surround yourself with determines that a lot. If you like with Carter, me and him had talked several times. I know y'all have talked about stuff like that. You could put out a video, you could put out 5 a week, but they're not going to be quality. Or you could put out 1 every month or 2 and have a really, really good video.
Banger.
Yeah. And see, me, I would put out a 3-minute clip of me dropping the phone. Worst fucking footage you're ever going to see. Me cussing like a sailor, hollering and screaming at the same time, telling you, don't cuss, we're on TV. Shit like that. So, I mean, if you want quality, I'm your guy. But if you want to be able to see what the hell we're even doing, I'm not your guy. You know what I'm saying? So we'll just leave that to the professionals. But speaking of Carter and Ryan, Boars N Broads, we got the Tulsa Standard Memorial Hunt coming up March 6th through 9th. Correct?
Yes.
And
I know the weigh-in's March 9th.
Yeah.
At Hickory Crossings.
It's going to be in Hartwell, Georgia, Hickory Crossings. Last year was it was awesome. But and we hunted it last year. But this year we're not going to get to hunt it because they have involved us in it. And so I mean, like they just don't realize how much that means to us. We really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
They're incorporating the big boar score that we use in the Shankathon, which we're going to be releasing a date on the Shankathon hunt pretty soon. So that way You guys can get all your stuff together and get a team set up. Do the, I don't know if it's the only virtual hog hunt in the U.S. or the first.
Yeah, I think it's the
I
first.
think Spyler's doing one.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
A monthly competition.
Yeah, he's doing a month. And I like that format, dude, because it's like,
oh, yeah.
you know, you got a chance to win. But he made it about hunting, about being fun. But it's not about money.
Yeah.
You win a buckle.
Yeah, we need to look into Ed Barnes's competition.
Ed's putting one on too. Say what was that? I know we had to be the ones that started it because I'd never seen another one.
I saw
because they were making fun of us at first.
Because I only seen
now make fun of that.
Because we were talking about how to do it.
Yeah, I know Australia they were doing it, but I didn't even know they were doing it.
Yeah, because I saw it on the U-Hunt app.
Yeah, and then we were talking about it. Somebody else was like, "Oh, y'all doing it like Australia?" I was like, "I didn't even know they did that until after we had done talked about it." But it's a great thing.
Yeah,
I like it. You know, because it's hard to.
I feel like the Australians have progressed much more in their hog hunting, and they're held back even more, which is very interesting. But I also feel like to them, it's about hunting. It's not about them hunting.
The virtual part of it, I like what we do in a lot of ways, but at the same time, there ain't no better feeling than pulling up the last sumbitch at the weigh-in and knowing you got them. Yeah. We did that at the damn what is it? The Tri-County Hog Bash. That's for the Alabama hog dog hunters. And man, we just barely missed it. Barely missed the whole thing. We won 2 or 3 things though, but we pulled up. I was like, dang. Like I said, we were the last ones there. I think we were the last ones to pull up.
We had the farthest drive, I believe.
Yeah. Well, now we drove 2.5 hours to our hunting spot on Friday. Come home. We was going to hunt another spot closer to the house because the weigh-in was 3 hours from the house. Well, we drive. We had caught so many hogs. We was like, well, we're just going to go back down there. So we drive 2.5 hours, catch 1 hog.
It was a good one.
It's a damn good one.
It's a good one.
So we drive 2.5 hours, get everything loaded up, and drive 3.5 hours to the weigh-in. Then drive 3 hours home. So out of that day, 9 hours was driving. And like we had a ball.
That was the longest.
That was a long day.
That was a long day.
It was a long weekend.
I was going home and taking naps because Ella was like,
I ain't even taking
Ella was like, what time you got to wake up?
I was sleeping while I was driving.
Doing that Joe deal.
Yeah. So I sleep for about 2 hours. I'd be like, yeah, we're almost there, I think. I don't know. I'd hit that. I'd hit on the side of the road. I was like, oh, shit. Mustard, mayonnaise, back and forth. Have me a ham sandwich.
Trying to get on down the road.
And here's the thing. Everybody was asleep, so nobody said a word.
Yeah.
Everybody was passed out because we worked our ass off that first day. I don't know how many we caught. I think we wound up keeping 10 or 11.
Yeah.
That first morning hunt, which I mean, that's not a lot. There's some of them hunts. These dudes are catching, 80 and 100 big hogs and tying them and bringing them in. We're just running and gunning with these.
There's not many places in Alabama I think exist that you can do that.
I don't think so.
Just because of the laws we have.
Yeah.
You can't turn them back loose. You can't borrow them.
Yeah. I like to hunt some of the ones in Texas, Louisiana, places like that. Yeah. I got to hunt some that Michael Spyler did so I can get me a belt buckle and he don't get one. Because I'm telling y'all, my man has got an asphyxiation on his belt buckles.
Well, he's so good we had to change the rules and scoring system of our hunt.
Yeah, guess what, Spyler? We ain't going to allow it. We're going to have to have a
bar is a side pot. Yeah. We need boar hogs.
Yeah, it's going to be boar hogs this time.
Big boar score.
We was talking trash about that, messing with him about it being a bar. Hell, he sent me a picture 2 days later, and it was a boar even bigger than that 400.
Oh, yeah, it's not like
what was it, 436?
I thought it was like, yeah, it was something like
that. It's fucking stupid.
It was literally like a 235-point hog or 240 or something like that. It's currently the big boar score world record bar.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, like using that big boar score, that's for people who deer hunt, and that's how I was kind of pitching the whole thing, was like, if you know what a 200 class deer is, I won't say, or a 200 inch deer, that's going to be equivalent to what a 200 class hog is. That's 200 points to the big bore score. You got eighth of a point for the teeth. You got 1 point for every eighth of an inch. So you got 8 points for every inch of a tooth.
Yeah.
And then you have 1 point for every half pound. So 2 points a pound.
No, it's
half point.
Half a point a pound.
I don't say. So it's 1 point for every 2 pounds.
Yeah.
So 300-pound hog is 150 points plus your teeth. Yeah. Anyway, so right there it tells you if you got a 300-pound boar hog with 2-inch teeth on each side, the body size is 150 points, and then you'll have 32 points for his teeth. All right. So you got a 182. Now, if you change that to 3.5-inch teeth, or say 4-inch teeth, now you're going to be in over the 200 class. So now you picture a 200-inch whitetail, and you're like, the difference between a 180 and a 220, you're like, oh shit. Yeah. There's your oh shit. Because like I said, and the reason we even done that is because there's so many times people catch a 250-pound hog with 1.5-inch teeth here. It's a great hog, but it is not as good of a trophy as a 220-pound hog with 3.5-inch teeth. Yeah. It's not an overall better trophy. That 220 with 3.5s, that's what you want on the wall, or a full body mount or something like that. That's overall a better trophy. So, but anyway, we've got quite a few things coming up like that. Jake, we got the bay-in January in Downsville. Then we'll have we'll get a calendar of events, and we'll go over that on our next one as well. We're going to be putting these out around the first of every month. So y'all make sure y'all check out hogbaying.com and check all your dates and stuff on those. He's got I think four bayings this year. And then
plus Uncle Earl's.
Yeah, so you can say got Uncle Earl's, and then Slade down there in Nixon, he'll have a couple of bays, or he's been doing them. He'll have a couple. Charles Kep, they'll have a couple out there at Tyler. And then Hickory Crossings, I think Tadpole and them's gonna have they're gonna do the Sweetheart Bay, or have you seen the calendar yet?
I don't know.
Well, we'll have to check all that and get it right for you, get back on top of our shit, and then so that way we can put it out there for you. I think we've done strolled off on all kinds of stuff. So if you're good with it, I'm good with it. Okay. I got to get home and get to sleep. I'm tired. So, Hey, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being patient, and thanks for being loyal, because like I said, I know it's been sporadic doing this stuff, and I'll get little messages here and there. It was like, hey, come on now, we ready for another episode. I done listened to this other one 3 times. Man, you don't know how good it makes me feel. I mean, that's a good thing. So it's our job to put out more.
I was looking at the stats from Buzzsprout. Like Spotify Rap does our thing, and I know I showed you that one, but I was looking at some of the Buzzsprout statistics, and we are in the top 50% of all podcasts on Buzzsprout.
Well, we need to get into top 10%.
Yeah.
So, and we can do that with the listeners we have.
Oh yes.
Out there. We've got a lot of other stuff that I want to just talk about that we've been doing. I mean, like the stuff that we've done through the hog dog world, the coon dog world, the dog food world, everything, like, and just kind of catch up with everybody. So we'll get some more recorded and keep them rolling, and we'll give y'all some updates on stuff. And are you going to upload this to YouTube and just do like some pictures, or are you going to do, I know we're not doing the videos.
Yeah.
Just going to do the audio.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes, and we'll let you know. and we'll post a link and all that stuff. Thank y'all to everybody who helps us and who's been there for us, true friends. I mean, we can't do this stuff without y'all. So I guess until next time, we'll see y'all.
Thank you.